All right, I want to welcome everybody to the seventh annual Startup Frederick. My name is Norm McGackie. I'm the coordinator for career and technology education. First of all, I want to thank some people that really helped put this together. I want to thank the business teachers, Miss Bauer from Urbana Middle School, or Urbana High School, Miss Welty from Tuscarora, Mr. Rourke from Middletown High School, Mr. Yoho from Brunswick, Miss Parente from Linganore High School, Mr. Churchill from Frederick High School, and finally Mrs. Steeg from Oakdale High School, who's our teacher leader for the event. And she just does a tremendous amount of work and helps new teachers out. We have a couple new teachers that this is the first time they have students presenting, and we just really couldn't do it without her. So, and we also want to give a special thanks to Nimio. They're supplying $3,000 in prize money today, and all contestants will walk away with at least $50. So regardless of what place, it's $50. Students will receive a certificate, and they can go to the Buckystown branch. And Nimio's been a sponsor for the last 6 years of the event, and they do a tremendous amount of support, not just with Startup, but with a lot of other events in our system as well. And one of the things I really want to stress is everyone in the competition today is really a winner. The students have been judged already in 8 of 10 categories. And I will tell you, there's only a few points separating the top 8 teams. So a lot of people are still in the running here. And so, we're just really proud of you. Regardless of how you finish, you're really all winners. And look at this as a learning experience. And I just talked to the students. If you're still in Frederick County next year, come back and compete again. We've had people do that. We have some people competing for a few years now. They've been in the competition. So next, I'd like to turn it over to Christina Morgan. She's the Nimio Chief Operation Manager, and she just wants to say a few words and tell you a little bit about their involvement with Startup Frederick.
Thank you, Norm. From light bulbs to umbrellas and zippers to Velcro, they are just a few inventions that make our lives better today, all developed from just a simple idea or drive to solve a problem and improve the quality of life. Despite setbacks and skepticisms, these inventors and many others like them persevered until they reached their goal, and society is so glad that they did today. History is full of famous inventors. Many have one thing in common. Most developed the passion to invent when they were young, much like all of you competing here today. My name is Christina Morgan. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Nimio Federal Credit Union. We're your community credit union based here in Frederick. We are proud to once again sponsor Frederick County Public Schools Startup Frederick competition, encouraging creativity and challenging young minds. So tonight, I look forward to seeing amazing ideas and products and learning about innovative business plans developed from all of you young emerging inventors and entrepreneurs. Congratulations to each of you today for working hard toward making an idea into a reality, and one day, even possibly changing the world. Good luck to each of you. Thank you.
Okay, Connor, I think you're ready to go then.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Connor Cavanaugh, and I'll be the MC for tonight. I'd like to welcome all of you to the 6th annual Startup Frederick competition. It's a pleasure to have everyone here tonight and to witness this annual showcasing of the business-minded students of FCPS. We're excited to be able to hold a live synchronous event tonight this year. Startup Frederick creates an exciting real-world learning environment for our students to experience what it's like to be an innovator and an entrepreneur. Each high school had their own competition within their building. Tonight, the first place winners from each school will compete against each other. Judges were provided with their pitch videos prior to tonight's event, and students will have 60 seconds to present their elevator pitch to the judges and answer one question from each judge. Each person participating tonight will receive a Nimio savings account of varying values depending upon placement and number of team members. The students are being judged in 5 categories: creativity/innovation, product/service clarity, market potential, competitive landscape, and operational sustainability. Just a reminder to people on tonight's meet, please keep your mics muted until it is your turn to speak. Tonight we have three very special judges. Our first judge is Ed Conley, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Nimio Federal Credit Union. Ed worked for community banks serving as Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operating Officer, and Chief Risk Officer before entering the credit union industry. He is a CPA and a graduate of the American Bankers Association Stonier Graduate School of Banking. Ed holds a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from the University of Baltimore. Ed is past chairman of the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber Foundation, supporting lower-income schools by raising funds for Chromebooks donated for use in the classroom. Ed enjoys playing pickleball and volleyball and serves as the chair of the Baltimore County Rec and Parks Adult Volleyball Program, in which he's participated for over 20 years. Our second judge is Jose Boisso, who has 52 years of experience in the automotive industry. He serves as COO, past president, and co-founder of Dynamic Automotive. He has been an ASE, Master Certified Technician, since 1982, is an Auto Care Association Government Affairs Committee member, the president of the Mechanical Trades Foundation, and is a member of the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce and Frederick Innovative Technology Center. Jose is a current member and a past president of Carroll Creek Toastmaster. In his own words, most of my accomplishments were built from failures, learning, and perseverance. I'm grateful for my teachers and mentors for instilling in me a sense of community and the courage to develop myself through education. Our third and final judge is Michael Caroglanian. He began his career in entrepreneurship 25 years ago when he opened Auto Body Dimension and the entire world of Frederick. They currently have 2 locations in Frederick County and 1 location in Carroll County called Taneytown Tire and Auto. Michael's background is quite extensive in the automotive industry, with experience in tires, brakes, painting, and repairing cars. Tire World would like to hire and see people attain their full potential. He would like to help the next generation of people encourage their great ideas. With that, let's jump right into our competition. Our first competitors tonight are Gabe Rosella and Sam Mitchell from Oakdale High School, with their business name, Line Leader.
We good to go, Connor? Awesome, thank you. Whenever I stay at a hotel, it's always after an exhausting day. You travel, sightsee, or attend your business conference, and by the time you get back, you are ready for your room. Hotels are for your rest and relaxation, not for waiting in the lobby holding an overstuffed suitcase, wondering when the receptionist is going to get off the phone.
It's a bad customer experience, and one that our business, Line Leader, provides a solution to. We offer hotel check-in kiosk at affordable and transparent prices. Considering that a minimum wage receptionist costs $15 an hour, whereas our Line Leader units cost only $4,000 with minimum monthly maintenance fees, the average hotel will see their initial investment paid off in just 34 days.
Now imagine a situation where you walk into that same hotel, and instead of seeing that long line, it's an empty lobby. You walk up to one of our units, tap a few buttons on the screen, get your key card, and you start enjoying your stay. You're a Line Leader.
Thank you.
All right, great. We'll just give the judges a few minutes or 30 seconds or so. When they're ready, they'll just put their thumbs up and we'll move on to the next person,
Connor. Are we still doing the questions?
I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going to each ask questions. So, Jose, you're up first.
Very good. Great presentation, guys. I also enjoyed your video. Good energy. I know you have competitors out there with this type of app, and I sort of researched what their costs were. How did you guys come up with your price point for this service?
Sure. So we're a built-in standalone kiosk that takes a physical presence in the hotel, and we do not have a mobile app feature of our business. And for similar hotels, it can be expensive. The main thing that we see when we were researching was that there was not a single company out of the entire front page of the internet that we were combing through that had transparent pricing. Like, you'd have to contact them, and we reached out to some of them, and like we couldn't even get a response without being a legitimate business. So you, like, in terms of being students, our options were to lie and claim we're a business, or, you know, reach out to these people and just get unanswered. So that's a great question. We came up with our $3,000 price range based on the estimated costs of hiring engineers to blueprint it, and then the shipping costs and construction cost of like installing it and maintaining it. But our main selling point, I guess you could say, is that transparency, in that it costs $4,000 flat, and then from there, it's just a minimal monthly maintenance fee. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, very good. Samuel, do you have anything to add to that?
I think Gabe hit on most of it. I think we tried to kind of find like what these kiosks, like the physical kiosk, would cost to produce. We tried to kind of look around like, oh, what would like a basic standard kiosk without a specific software on it cost? So we kind of found that price, factored into what the software would cost to develop, and then kind of put that together as our price point.
Samuel, that's what I wanted to hear. What was that cost price point for that kiosk?
We saw that many of like the bare bones kiosk were typically around like $1,500 to $2,000, and then we figured that with the software on top, we would roughly be around $3,000, and then so we put our price point at $4,000, and then we have like we said, minimum monthly maintenance fees, which would also contribute to the revenue in that case.
Excellent answer, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike, you want to go next?
Sure. Good presentation, guys. I had two questions. They kind of work together. One is My Hotel Key, which is a big competitor. Pretty much Marriott uses them, and other hotels use My Hotel Key. Seamless, transparent. You don't see anybody. You get your key on your phone. You're done. And there's no cost to the hotel, technically. And then my second question that would be one of your direct competitors. My second question would be, who's going to maintain all these kiosks all over America? And where's that crew going to be? And did you figure in a factor to have a technician? As Jose and I know what technicians cost, these would be travel time technicians that would have to go from place to place all over the state of Maryland to start with, I'm sure, and then expand out. You're talking, you might have 75 technicians nationwide, and that's a heck of a cost. So technicians nationwide, and that's a heck of a cost. So if you could directly answer both those questions about the competitor and also technicians to repair the units.
Okay, so I can go on about the competitor first of all. I think what we kind of saw was we kind of want to target smaller, more like independent hotels rather than like these like bigger ones, maybe ones that would have like 2 to 3 receptionists. We again, we like to keep at least like one receptionist there for personal touch and for like things that might go on in the hotel. Like I said, like keep one a receptionist. So in that case, we wanted to target hotels that have maybe 2 to 3. So you would place 1 or 2 of them. And with those kind of hotels, they're not going to have like their own app that you could like get your hotel key on. So we figure a lot of the customers that go in there, it would be a lot easier if they could just go to the kiosk, get their key, if there was a physical key, which a lot of hotels still have to this day. And then it would be that kind of process.
It's funny that you bring it up because Sam and I were just on a call talking about the apps that you see. And I mean, the consensus is, at least from our point of view, you know, we travel only like maybe 2 or 3 times a year tops, right? So it's not worth it for us to download an app on your phone and have to like care. Like, it's, you know, it takes up space. You don't want, like, I don't like having apps like that on my phone if I'm only going to travel once a year. So it's not an app, but you walk in, you know, pressing the button, you get your answer. As for the technicians, that's a great point. Technicians are going to be expensive. It's a basic expectation that we have for our hotels that they're doing basic maintenance, like, you know, wiping the units down, keeping them dirty. And if they break, obviously, then we would step in with our technicians. And that's where the monthly maintenance fees come in. So if you have a hotel that never has an issue, they're not going to pay a very high monthly maintenance fee, you know, because it's built into the contract. We're able to scale and adjust it, where if you have a hotel they're going through them like crazy, that fee might start to increase to accommodate the kinds of losses that we would see.
Great. Thank you for those answers.
And Ed, your question?
Great presentation. I agree. The one question I had you thought about other ways that you could generate revenue once you have the smaller hotels using your kiosk and developing other revenue streams that could be complementary to what you've created?
Yes, we have, and that's where we want to start with the original kiosk, but like what's been being talked about as like an app, right? So we would likely develop our own app, and that would be for like mainly for the larger hotels that would like customers would be coming in, needing to go in quickly, and they could just check in on their phones and everything, and the app would pair with it. So if the hotel said still had a key, like a physical key, then they could go to the kiosk, they could check themselves in with their phone or whatever, and just get their key when they get there. But we'd also like to still keep our like in-ground kiosk there. So for hotels that are smaller, say, would still have the option to have everything go through that kiosk rather than through an app as well.
Our kiosk is really our fundamental flagship product. So a great continued, like, there's a lot of different offshoots, different directions you could take, alternative revenue sources. I think a big one is they call it like management systems for hotels, and there's a lot of behind the scenes work where they have like servers and stuff. So we would have infinite options. You know, we could control the flow of information in the hotel with like, you know, logging their people checking in and out to servers that we host, and then hotels could pay an extra fee monthly for our hosting their information. We could have other alternative products like panic buttons, or even like automatic like room cleaning, like checkups, you know, like to keep track of which room needs to be cleaned and so forth, so on. So there are a lot of different directions we could go with this.
Okay, thanks, guys. I think we'll move on to the next group now.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
All right. Big thanks to line leader from Oakdale High School. Guys did great. Up next, we have, as long as judges ready, just wanted to make sure everyone's good. All right, sounds good. Up next, we have Gabby Dwoskin from Urbana High School with their business name Forget Me Not.
It's in human nature to be forgetful. Among the most common culprits of items we lose are wallets, keys, licenses, cell phones, watches, glasses, AirPods, and so much more. My company, Forget Me Not, makes your life easier and gives you peace of mind by protecting all of your important items. So how does it work? First, you purchase the Forget Me Not device, which comes in the form of a small, smooth, circular, and impressively durable sticker that can attach to any item without any bulk. You then log it into your accounts in the Forget Me Not app, and it's easy as that. You can now view the active location of your item at any time you wish. If the item is lost, you can play a sound through the sticker, see your proximity to the missing item, and view its location through the Forget Me Not website or app. Forget Me Not is revolutionary because it provides all of the services and more than the bulky tracking tags that are already on the market. For the sake of the forgetful in all of us, don't forget Forget Me Not.
Nice job.
Okay, great.
Gabrielle. Go ahead, Norm.
No, do you want to start? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can ask the first question.
Yes. Gabrielle, first of all, your video, I love the background music in the first segment. That was very well done. So I got a kick out of that. That was something I did enjoy. It's amazing to me. You've been in business now for some time, generating income from these products. That is correct, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So with that in mind, how did you develop and manufacture your components? I'm very curious about that.
So we did this by hiring engineers and designers that were able to create a product that could fit inside of a small sticker, including a GPS tracker and speaker system. And it's like a little chip that goes in the sticker to make it sleek. And so we did this through the help of engineers and designers.
And I don't mean to hog this, but in addition to that, how much of a range does this sticker have?
In terms of mileage? And like
ranges in terms of connectivity.
This can connect pretty much hundreds of miles. throughout, honestly, anywhere. The thing that sets it apart is that it tracks the active location. And something I noticed in other products that was a flaw was that, for example, in Find My iPhone, it would only track the location when the item was last in use. So I wanted to solve that problem by having it track the current and active location at all times, regardless of where it is.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hey, Gabrielle. So refresh me again. Great presentation on where you're selling this, the best place that you found to retail this or wholesale this product.
So we're currently selling on our Forget Me Not online store. And we also have kiosks and small shops set up in different malls and marketplaces, as well as a partnership with Amazon and Best Buy for our products to be sold there.
Okay, great. And the biggest challenge you're seeing right now to expand the product?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The biggest challenge you're facing to get more market share?
Currently, it's just expanding the name of the brand and proving why it's versatile and different than the other tags that are already being sold on the market. And that is that it's small and sleek and more practical for anyone and any item and not particular to a certain brand. So once we are able to pitch that to different businesses that might sell on a wider range, then that'll expand our marketing.
Yeah, the tile, which is one of your competitors, is just so bulky, as you said in your presentation originally. I mean, that's just, it's a great idea, but it's 10 years old. So good presentation. Thank you.
Again, yes, great presentation. Great idea too, because it's universal. I could use like 20 of them, I'm sure, for my family alone. Is there a component that they, from a charging standpoint, do they wear out over a period of time and have to be replaced? Was my question, because I would imagine they either have an internal battery that has a shelf life, or some other mechanism for maintaining a charge to be able to send and receive signals.
It's through a chip, and so this chip would probably last a few years and need to be replaced after then. But that's a small issue for replacing it because it's pretty cost effective and it would last a few years, and hopefully it wouldn't need to be in use that much, the sound and tracking.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just give a few minutes here, and then when judges are ready, they can give a thumbs up. We can move on to the next person.
All right. Thank you so much, Gabby. With your business, Forget Me Not, coming from Urbana High School. Up next, we have Kaylin Sanford from Tuscarora High School with their business name Precision Instruments Center.
Hello all. What do most, if not all, dwelling places, including the place you're now sitting, schools, businesses such as hotels and restaurants, have in common? If you think for a moment, you may say they all contain some kind of furniture. Furniture is not only meant to make our places look pleasant, but it can also show our personality. Most importantly, it acts as a functional appliance, as they can be used to place your photos or artwork, to store objects such as your clothes. However, these goods can break and wear out over time of a sudden accident. Hello, my name is Callan Sanford. My service company, PIC, short for Precision Instrument Center, is here to fix and give back life to these broken pieces that would otherwise go to wasteland and cause more deforestation, as most of the trees cut are used for the purpose of making furniture. My company will use technology, which is 3D printers, to fix and replace any furniture back to its shape and function at an affordable price.
Thank you, Kaylin. What an extraordinary idea to use a 3D printer to repair furniture and possibly other wares. My question is, how are you going to market your services? How are you going to get the word out there to attract those people who will use your services?
So my first customers would most likely be the local population. So I will use flyers and billboards. And then over time, I'll use social medias like Facebook, which has a mainly younger audience users. And then I will use Instagram for younger audience.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Galen, my question on repairs. How did you come up with your pricing when every possible desk or piece of furniture would have maybe a unique situation in it? And is there something that you cannot repair, like a refinished piece of material, like something that's stained with a clear coat on it? The 3D printer, I don't think, can actually match that. But have you thought about that would be another part of the repair process you'd have to face when you went out on service calls?
So for the pricing, it's an estimation, but it can vary based on the damage. So I got the pricing based on my research on the type of materials and the shapes and the size of furnitures. For example, couches, they are very complex furniture and they're pretty big. They have leather, all kinds of wood. So they're most likely going to be the most expensive to repair. So I used various research. And also for the 3D printers and how they can be used for different materials. For example, wood. There are 3D printers that are able to print and refinish wood. If the wood is not, if the wood is in pretty bad condition, we can use other woods that would otherwise go to wasteland. We can basically reuse wood materials and attach it to the furniture if we need to.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure that judges are putting tab 4, scoring tab 4. There wasn't a team 3, so make sure you're in the 4th tab.
Kayla, my question, good presentation. My question is, in looking at the process, do you envision the need to replace entire parts, or would the 3D printing actually allow you to just repair damaged pieces?
It can actually vary because 3D printers, they're designed to create parts and pieces that would otherwise be harder for human hands to create. Thus, we don't need to destroy the entire or replace the entire furniture. We can print out a piece and add it on. We can also use other parts from another furniture to attach to the chair or to the couch or to the table.
Thank you.
Okay, so whenever you guys are ready, we can move on.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, great job, Precision Instrument Center from Tuscarora High School. Up next is Gabriella Pieclo from Middletown High School with their business name, Treat 'em Right.
In my house, my family has 2 dogs and 5 cats, and I love each and every one of them, so I want them to have the best products. My name is Gabrielle Pieclo, and I started Treat 'em Right. Treat 'em Right is a business selling pet treats, pet toys, and accessories. I sell at the local farmers market and at local events, and I started this business in June of 2020. I have an online store called treatemrt.com, and social media is my main form of advertising and marketing. I have an Instagram and a Facebook at treatemrt. And when you hear pet products, your mind automatically goes to either like PetSmart or Petco because those are the big name companies and stores, which are good for them. But Treat 'em Right is the opposite in a way that my store is on a much smaller scale. I sell locally and know my customers by a name and a face, and I construct and value personal connections with them. My purpose for this business is to make products for your pet and to help you treat them right.
Very nice, Gabrielle. I have a dog and I love to give her treats, and your treats sound extra special. And I understand how you plan to market your items, and you're already selling locally, so you're getting your product out there right now. Let's say your product just takes off, and now the demand has grown to the next level. How are you going to meet that demand? By producing more of your product. How will you produce more?
For me, I would have to change recipes of my treats because right now all of my treats are perishable and they need to be kept in the fridge. So if it were on a larger scale, I would have to figure out how to keep them good with shipping and everything like that. Because when people buy online or through our social media, I normally know who they are already because I'm in a close community. So I just deliver them myself and they put them right in the fridge or freezer whenever they get them. So my biggest obstacle for that would be figuring out how to make treats that would not go bad before they get to the destination.
Very good, Gabrielle. You're thinking. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Gabrielle, I was going to expand on what Jose was asking, because that was exactly where I was going, is that you're going to have to start putting chemicals in your treats or different ingredients to make them last a month, 2 months, 3 months, because I don't think long-term people are going to want to refrigerate their dog treats. They want to put them in the closet, have them available on the, on the counter and give them to them. Right now, it's a very specialty item. Great concept. Have you found anybody to reach out to create some recipes for shelf life? Basically what Jose was asking.
I have not researched much into that because personally, this was more of a side job for me. So I wasn't necessarily looking to expand, but hypothetically, if I were to expand, I would need to do more research on keeping the treats good and making it so they don't have to be refrigerated. But I've thought about that, and realistically, right now, that's not a priority for me. But for the purpose of this question, I would definitely do more research because I have not looked into it as of right now.
I would only suggest this. Treat them right is a great concept for animal lovers. I know Jose and I are. Do not let this side job hobby get away from you if you're passionate, because you can take Treat 'em Right nationwide if you want to. You just got to decide if you're going to just do a little here or there and take care of your friends. I see this as being huge for you.
Thank you.
Well, I can tell you from the video, your dog and your cat love the camera. and love you.
Yeah.
Is it, it's really it's a question I think that probably stems from your love of your pets to create this. But then my question was, what inside sort of in your thinking inspired you to take this sort of love for your pets and then create this side business that that you've developed?
So I had wanted to sell things at a farmer's market like years ago with my one friend. Like, I think we wanted to sell baked goods. So we kind of researched a little bit already, and we both wanted that experience. And so I already had that like in the back of my mind. And one day I decided to make dog treats because I'm like, why not? It's summer. It's COVID. We have nothing else to do around the house. So I made dog treats, and then I had extras, and I gave them to some of my friends. And actually, my sister's boyfriend's mom, their dog loved the treats, so she said that I should sell them. And I thought, why not? And then my mom knows the person who runs the Myersville Farmers Market. So she talked to him, asked him, hey, if she tried this out, like, would you let her participate a couple times during this season? And he let me. It was very generous. I'm very grateful for that. And it's just expanded from that little, hey, I want to make treats. Oh, they turned out well. Like, it's expanded from that point, and I have like 8 different types of treats, 2 or 3 types of toys, and then we also have T-shirts, dish towels, and pet bandanas.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Treat 'em Right, from Middletown High School. When the judges are ready, we will move on to the next one. All right. Next up is Alexandra Swam from Brunswick High School, business name Axis Apparel.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Swam, and I'm the creator of Axis Apparel. Axis Apparel is a golf clothing brand specifically designed for women from ages 10 to 30. At Axis Apparel, we think women would want to buy our products opposed to companies like Nike and Under Armour because our products are stylish and functional for golf. As a female golfer myself, I've seen the need for women's golf apparel. As it is an unreached market, I knew I had to do something to solve that. Axis Apparel will begin sales online through our website, and as our brand expands, we hope to sell to local golf pro shops. Advertising will be on various social medias such as TikTok, Instagram, and even LinkedIn. We will also use trending hashtags to promote our business. Axis Apparel hopes to change the way women's golf is viewed as it continues to become more and more popular. Thank you for your time.
Hello, Alexandria. Very nice pitch, and I like your idea. I'm sure that female golfers everywhere would be very interested to see what your line of clothing is all about. My question is, where are you producing your current line of clothing? And how much are you producing, and what is going to be your plan again for growth?
So we hope to produce our clothing locally and find a manufacturer that's here to start our clothing locally, and then we can expand further as our business grows. We hope to make around 350 shirts at first, and shirts and other apparel, obviously, as we grow. And once those sell, we will obviously continue to make more. And what was the last thing you said? Sorry.
If your product were to take off, and you've already stated that you would have them produced here locally, and I'm assuming you mean in the Frederick, or in the Maryland area. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Made,
correct.
made in USA, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, and if it takes off, how would you handle that expansion?
Yeah, so we would have to obviously grow different manufacturers, and we'd hope to get members of the LPGA to wear our brands and start a little reputation for us so we could sell to golf universities or schools just to help influence more women to play golf. And obviously, we would just need to expand our brand. And once we get those top of the line golfers to start wearing our clothing, we think that we could expand our brand that way and have more people to manufacture for us.
Alexandria, thank you for your answers and the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
So this is a great presentation. I love the brand idea. Here's the reality. As we say sometimes, the LPGA is a great place to start. You have to find somebody that's not a name yet. Because if you go for a name, you're going to have 6-figure check to give them to wear your brand. That's the only way you get recognition. So I would suggest find somebody that's in high school or even, college, that's an up and coming person that doesn't have a sponsor yet, and befriend them somehow, some way. Think that way. But the question is, where are you going to get your capital to do the manufacturing and to go ahead and find people to buy and or wear your product is more where I'm concerned, because clothing is a vicious industry. But it's a great idea. You have, anyway, the access is great. The name is awesome.
Right. Thank you. That's a great question. So I actually work in a golf pro shop myself. I'm wearing my uniform right now. So I see women come in every week asking, oh, well, do you have any women's clothes? And we have a very limited option from where I work. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have anything in stock right now. Maybe you can come back another time. And we just don't have enough options. So by starting our sales in golf pro shops, I think that'll really influence more people to buy our products, and that'll get the word out. And then we could potentially sell to bigger sporting brands like Callaway Golf or even Dick's Sporting Goods. So we could create our own section, and that would make our business bigger. And those are the consumers that would buy our product.
Just an observation or a question. Since you work in a golf situation already, which is fantastic, befriend one of the ladies that comes in on a regular basis. Give her some of your clothing, make some and give it to her so she loves it and tells everybody.
Okay, yeah.
As a fellow golfer, I thought it was interesting that your presentation was very good. Is it really okay? So wearing guys' clothes, right? Because guys' clothes are loose fitting. It's not about, a lot of it on the golf course is not about style, but a lot of what the women wear is, right? Women want to look good. Is it really a function that the pocket sizes don't allow? Because I've had some shorts pockets before where you can't put golf balls in there. You can't put tees in there. You can't put, markers, or they're hard to reach if you get them in there, right? Is that what the sort of the form and function and your idea came from? And then,
yeah.
And have you, I guess my question is, if you're probably not the only woman golfer who's had this experience, to Mike's point, have you started to sort of discuss this in larger circles of fellow female golfers and pitched your idea? And then what were the responses you received?
Yeah, so I actually have talked about it to many of the girls that are on my golf team. I golf in multiple leagues, and I have for many years. And we all deal with the same struggle of not being able to fit golf balls into our skirts and even tees. So we've all realized and talked and discussed among each other the issues with how it functions for the golf course. And I told them about my idea, and they thought it was really brilliant and that they would definitely buy something like that.
There's your focus group.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was That was Access Apparel from Brunswick High School. Thank you very much. We'll move on when all the judges are ready. Okay. All right. Up next, we have Kiefer Ellie from Linganore with their product Date Slice.
So everyone was a teenager at one point, and a lot of the big struggles with teenagers, no matter how far you go back, is with dating and with finding dates, asking them out, consequences of it, where to take them, and all that sort of stuff. And that continues to be a problem. And it's not fixed by things for adults like Tinder and other dating apps. So that was the reason for my idea, Date Slice, which is a restaurant exclusively for teens, which will allow them to meet, and essentially uses a system where you get into one of two lines, and based on the line you go through, you go and sit down with the person that orders at the same time as you, and you basically have a date with them. And if you like that, then you can then pay an hourly fee to have a private observable room for that, to make sure nothing bad happens, of course. And that way anything that happens is entirely secure within the restaurant. You don't have to worry about anything else. And that is Date Slice.
Hello, Kiefer. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
It's a fascinating idea, Kiefer, but I am really curious about the environment that you are proposing. Where will you conduct this business? In a safe zone? Will you have agreements with restaurants or certain other entities to conduct your business?
So the type of environment that I was thinking was maybe something like the type of building where you might have a hotel, where you can sort of have like a dining hall, which would represent the main restaurant, and then the restaurant would be specifically as part of the business, not working with other restaurants to fulfill it. And then the rooms of the rentable could be repurposed, or the rooms of the hotel, I should say, could be repurposed for dance rooms, game rooms, all the sort of rentable rooms that you can use for hours at a time.
Thank you, Kiefer. Appreciate it. And good luck to you with your venture.
Thank you.
Hey, Kiefer. I saw that you had some possible expense or prices you would charge. I also, if I remember right, there would be cameras for monitoring and some kind of identification that you would use to vet these people to make sure they're who they say they are. Because obviously we know a lot of phishing and all that kind of stuff goes on online. How do you protect yourself in this situation where you now are responsible for putting these people together? So if you've misjudged or miscalculated, how do you protect yourself against somebody suing you or people getting together for nefarious reasons coming through your company?
Well, first of all, I think it would be very difficult because we would partner with the local school systems so that if you get in and you use a school ID, which is the plan, to verify that you are of the correct age to go there, then it would automatically be able to scan and make sure it's valid. Of course, it would be very hard to fake. But in the event that it did, I believe we would have some sort of, I'm not very familiar with the legal terms, of course, but we'd have some sort of legal agreement that you are making and prefaces, by entering that you are agreeing to the risks that might come with it.
I like the idea of having a place where people can get together in person. I think today we've probably, and well, let me ask you this question. How did you come up with the idea of the in-person when everything today seems to have some mechanism in in the cloud, right? In non-personal contact. Where did you come up with the idea, and why do you think it has such a powerful resonance maybe with that age group?
Well, even though people my age usually tend towards, electronic things, I think the main problem came with that. Of course, originally my first idea might have been, a dating app for teens, but those already exist. And no matter what you do, they will never be even remotely safe. They'll always be incredibly unsafe. And just like the previous judge asked, like, that's obviously the first concern. So I thought that the only way to reconcile that would be to go in person and to sort of focus around, making the restaurants very close to schools so that it's as accessible as it can be while not being online. And also to make sure that you use social media in the same way that you would if it was online to advertise it to those people. Because of course that is still their main, our, as teenagers, main source of entertainment. So it has to have a presence there, even if it's not actually on the internet.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Date Slice from Linganore High School. When all the judges are ready, we'll move on. All right. Up next is Ajay Kane from Linganore High School with their business name, Magic Mailbox.
Hello. Have you ever checked your mailbox to find out that there was nothing in it? I'm sure everybody has. Checking your mailbox can be a large inconvenience to everyday life. Everyone has their own business to attend to. Checking the mail can become time-consuming or distracting to your current task. With Magic Mailbox, you won't have to worry about checking more than once a day. Magic Mailbox is a mailbox sensor that connects to a mobile application. When your mail is delivered, a notification will go to your phone, informing you that your mail has arrived in your mailbox. If you were to click on the notification, it would tell you exactly what is in your mailbox. This could be documents, small packages, envelopes, etc. This is done through the sensor being able to recognize mass compared to an empty mailbox. After the mail is removed, another notification will go to your phone that will display that your mailbox has been cleared. With this function, your mailbox will have a safety blanket that will let you know if anybody takes a peek inside. With this product, you won't have to walk down any long driveways to find nothing in your mailbox. Any important mail will easily be identified through the application. With this product, checking mail will become an easy once-a-day task.
Ajay, very cool idea. Of course, I'm into the ring thing, the Nest, and I think this product is very similar, and I would be interested in it. Ajay, what would it cost me, and would I have to pay a subscription to attain this service from you?
So the application would be completely free, just because there's like a lot of open source code now, so you can kind of code this fairly easily. Especially with Ring, you would need something. I believe it was called a mailbox, a Ring deck, and that would cost you another $30 on top of the $30 that it takes to just get the mailbox detector. And this would be just to get the notifications in your home. I didn't personally go that route because I thought that it would be a lot easier for it to just go to your phone. Because what it would do with the Ring one is it would make a sound in your house through an Alexa. And not everybody has an Alexa, so that's not useful to everybody. With your phone, it would just go to your phone, and after you check the mail, you could just swipe the notification. And if you don't swipe it, it's just always going to be there. So when you check your phone, you're like, oh yeah, I need to go check the mail. So it does have its differences from the Ring doorbell, but it really has its own uses that you can really focus on, and it has its own uniqueness.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much.
Great presentation, AJ. I did have a question. What do you have for a plan for the future as we go from 6 days a week mail to 5? We're probably going to be to 3 or 4 in our lifetime. So the viability of your product and the need for it slows down as we move into the further future of technology and paying bills online. What is your next plan to come up with another product that would replace this in the future or add to it? Because this will slowly die, and the need for it will go away, as mail will not be delivered 6 days a week in the next decade.
I totally agree. I of course, like a lot of like legal documents and especially like college acceptance letters, different things like that will still definitely be mailed to you. And yes, email is slowly progressing, so likely we would have like an email service that would kind of like focus on that, and it wouldn't be like your average like email application. It'd be able to like filter different things out, so you'd be able to get your college acceptance letters, and then it would filter out like junk mail and everything like that. um but I do want to really focus on the mailbox because it the mailbox itself isn't really going anywhere, and especially with different rural neighborhoods, um there's a lot of people who don't actually have internet right now. And if people don't have internet, they can't really have access to those online resources. So, still having your mailbox, it really does allow you to just be able to check your mail from like your own home without like focusing on email. So, I do think that the mailboxes will still be around for like the next maybe 20, 30 years.
Thank you. Great.
Ajay, talk about a new use for an old thing, right? Something that's been around since, I mean, for a long, long time. Did who's your sort of target audience? Because when you think about geography and time savings, and especially when people are looking for things, who are the people that are going to most benefit and want your product and your research?
It's really gonna be like, say like Americans that live in like these rural areas, because so about 57 million Americans in like say type of areas like Maryland or more southern states, we have these like spread out areas, and of course we're going to have mailboxes. Now in urban areas we have more like letter boxes that are connected to your walls. So of course like we have it could easily be adapted to make sensors in there, but like my major target audience is going to be those rural neighborhoods, because that really adds the convenience of like that long driveway. So you won't have to constantly walk down the driveway and just open it, and then there's that feeling that there's nothing in there and you just wasted a bunch of time from your life. So it's really like the rural areas, but the product could easily be adapted to address more urban neighborhoods and areas. So it would address maybe like 80% of the population instead of about 40.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Magic Mailbox from Linganore High School. Judges ready? All right, then. Up next is Craven Skidmore, Trevor DeLauder, and Taylor Goodrich from Frederick High School with the Bazaar of Frederick.
We good?
Can you see me?
It was a Sunday, sunny afternoon as I walked down the street in Philadelphia. I started getting hungry and was looking for a place to eat. I found the Reading Terminal Market. I walked in the door and I found everything from breakfast to dinner, along with clothing and jewelry. Everything I needed was right at my fingertips. This was amazing, though I wish there was something like this in Frederick.
As an online business owner with dreams of opening a physical location, I found it very hard to find a place at an affordable price, a physical place. Storefront.
Then the Frederick Bazaar was born. It's an open-air marketplace looking to boost the local economy, focus on small businesses local to Frederick County, providing affordable storefronts and an overall means of supplying their demand. The success of small businesses would benefit not only the business, but the community as a whole. Thank you.
So I was looking at your numbers, and you guys were very interested in a large location that could accommodate 30 small businesses, and that lease per year was roughly about $196,000, correct? So how long of a lease would you negotiate knowing that you had to service that lease by getting all of these small businesses into your facility? And how would you reach out and talk to your public and get those businesses into this facility? Quite frankly, guys, in my opinion, it's going to be a challenge. Tell me how you're going to do it.
Well, I think as a way to reach out to small businesses and kind of pull them into, the Bazaar of Frederick, is you can do anything from setting up billboards or just going in and making online postings to see if anywhere in Frederick is interested in that, and as a way of leasing out these storefronts, we're looking for somewhere around probably 2 years for the businesses, hoping that they can grow over that time at around $1,000 a month.
Okay,
does that answer
great.
your question?
That's a good portion of my question. Taylor or Trevor, do you have anything to add?
I would say that advertising, I mean, there's so many different ways to advertise today, and there's a lot of, I feel like, at least for me, there's a lot of small business owners or people that want to get into it that have started on Etsy, but like we don't know about. So I feel like people like that would be looking for a cheaper alternative that would also have masses in there. I think that we would go on more of like a 5, 10 year lease because we're gonna have to build up and get people in. And once we get people in, then we don't want to lose the lease. So we're gonna have to have a long period of time, take the time to build up. But I think once we build up, it'll be really good. Having, I think it has really good potential for helping a lot of local small businesses.
Well, Taylor, that's a very good answer. When it comes to leasehold properties, if you can gain a very long term, 10, 15, 20 years, now you've got a true asset. So, good answer. Trevor, do you have anything to add?
I think Taylor touched on everything I would add. That was good.
Very good, guys. That's a gutsy thing to go after. Much luck with that.
Hey guys, I am the guy that loves those kind of places. I've been around many places in the world that have markets that bring all kinds of your trinkets to your dog food, to your food, your pizzas, and just everything. Okay. Here's the challenge, and I'm going to go back to where Jose started. Who has thought about the $1 million, not question, $1 million land lease to the property owner? And where do you get the security to fork out $1 million? Because as you said, Taylor, we want 5 to 10 years. At 190,000 times 5, you're at $1 million. 10 years is $2 million. Where do you get the backing to do this? Because nothing else matters. You can advertise all you want, but you personally, you guys are going to have to sign a lease for a building, and no one's going to give it to you. So where do you get the capital for that?
Well, I think off the bat, we're definitely going to need, like, it's going to need to be a very well advertised idea before we get the lease on the building. We're going to have to talk around Frederick, around people, just to see if people would be interested in something like this, which in our group, I mean, we have two guys, Trevor and Craven, who could benefit themselves. But I think we would have to definitely have a lot of interest. And if there wasn't enough interest, like you were saying, $1 million is a huge amount of money. And it's not something that you can really risk. Like, you can't give them $1 million, not very sure that you're going to get that back.
All right. Well, you're at least thinking that direction, so that's good. Thank you.
So if I'm a small business, what benefits am I going to get that are going to bring me out of my sort of low overhead selling online activity where my prices and my sales are adequate? They're not making me $1 million a year, but I can cover my overhead and make a profit. What's the sales pitch to me that I need to come and participate as a merchant in the bazaar?
Now, with this being a type of, I guess you can kind of generalize it and say kind of a mall of small businesses, that itself, and also along with being right off of, right on Buckystown Pike, there is just bound to be a lot of foot traffic. There also is, an additional cost, but still a web page on the Frederick Bazaar website that could be provided to the merchants to help them out with, all the delivery costs covered by us.
I would say also that coming in, just touching on foot traffic, yeah, we see that like FSK Mall is slowly dying, but also in FSK Mall, it's big, like corporate, like Hollister, American Eagle, all those big, and they're paying a lot for that storefront. So at the Frederick Bazaar, we're going to have a lot cheaper cost for businesses that are already selling. They just want a place to get high foot traffic. I think the Reading Terminal Market, it probably took a long time to build up their um, their I can't think of the word, but people knowing about it. But right in the middle of town where it's at, there's bound to be high foot traffic.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. The Bazaar of Frederick from Frederick High School. When the judges are ready, we may move on. All right. Up next is Sarah Padamawenu from Oakdale High School with their product, Versadesk.
Most people are familiar with the stress of work piling up. Add a small desk and a small room to the mix, and everything becomes messier. The Versadesk is a versatile patent-pending product designed to combat this problem. It has two stacks, a sturdy base that sits on the surface of an existing desk, so you don't have to sacrifice any more space, and a top that can be extended, unfolded, and converted into a standing desk. It also has charging ports for your devices. It comes in various sizes and colors and is an office staple for busy students and workers, and those who want extra desk space but not the extra bulk. We use direct sales and e-commerce to sell the desk. We've partnered with retailers like Target, Walmart, and Amazon, and also sell through our website. You won't be able to find this model anywhere else because it's the only one of its kind, giving it a major advantage in the market. We regularly sell large quantities and are working to upgrade our means of production to keep up with demand. Cramped workspaces are a thing of the past. The Versadesk works for you so that you can work better.
Great job with your presentation. You know, I just recently bought a desk to actually a modern desk compared to the old type of desks I've been sitting at. So I'm really interested in a product like yours that you're describing. And you say you've already got it out on the market. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And where is the desk being produced now?
Right now, it's being produced in a small warehouse, but as we are picking up more sales, we're planning on moving to like a larger space where we can really invest on more machines and more qualified people who can really produce more desks in less time and put those out on the market too.
Are you having any challenges getting a staff together to work for you? And if so, how are you recruiting?
Well, right now as a startup, we've really just been getting help from friends and family who are willing to help. But as we're gaining more traction, we've been looking to hire people who are qualified to build things, who really know the ins and outs of the desk and how to put together the different parts. We're hiring through, we put out ads on social media, and we've also reached out to people we know who are comfortable constructing these kind of things. And it's not really a job that you have to be super duper qualified for. We also provide training. We're just looking for someone with general skills who has an interest in doing this.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Great presentation. So your biggest competition out there to your idea and concept is the first question, is competition. And where did you say, what store are you actually selling it in currently?
We're selling them both in stores and online. We're partnered with Target and Walmart, also Michael's. We also have a shop on Amazon and our own online store.
Okay, and who's your biggest competition currently?
We don't really have competition because our model, it's not actually a real desk. It's more like an extender. But I've done research online and in stores, and nobody really has a product like ours that can really like augment the quality of an existing desk. They really produce desk extenders that either take up more space or that sit on top of your desk and make it really uncomfortable to do work on like 2 different levels. But mine is just one single unit, and there's not really anything like it on the market.
And your website again is what that you have?
We have an online store. It's the Versadesk store online.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good presentation. Beyond sort of students and folks in small apartments, where do you see the expansion of your customer base and maybe the different ideas you may have for applications beyond just a sort of student need?
With with everything happened in the pandemic, people who are now working remotely, some people like working remotely more, and some people are forced to work remotely, and they weren't really equipped to handle the extra workload and just being suddenly put into like small home offices. So this could really benefit people who have to work in confined spaces and don't necessarily have the means to buy another desk into their house, but already have one. So we're also advertising, in addition to students, to people who work from home, people who, even people who do craft projects. They could also benefit from having that extra space on their desk. So yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Versadesk from Urbana High School. We will continue when the judges are all good. All right. So this is our last business. Narek Brombot, Jonathan Hammer, and Aryan Kalithia from Oakdale High School with their product Vista.
With the pandemic, sorry about that. Hello, judges. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Aryan.
And I'm Nirek.
So last summer, my parents wanted to take our family on a vacation, but both of my parents worked full time and they obviously had no time to plan or research any destinations. And aside from logistics, figuring out where we even wanted to go was hard.
With the pandemic coming to an end, nearly 75% of Americans say they want to travel more in the upcoming year, but 61% of them say they're too busy to plan it. With the hustle and bustle of their busy lives, many are overwhelmed or just don't know where to start when planning a trip, and that's where Vista comes in.
With Vista, you simply input your leisure preferences, and the digital service will provide you with fully planned vacation packages which cater to your needs. This would be shown in a Tinder-style format, so users can swipe left or right on unique, novel, but also personalized vacations. And once you find the vacation package that's perfect for you, all that's left to do is pay.
So by creating a convenient and streamlined medium of vacation planning, Vista aims to make the whole process simplified and trouble-free for all consumers. Thank you.
Hey guys, that's quite an idea. I'm dealing with a travel agent right now, and the process is coming along very nicely, but it seems like you guys have found a way to streamline this. Is this app out there already? Have you experimented with it? And if you have, who is your target audience that you're going to be marketing this to?
It's not out there already, and we hope to experiment it sometime in the future, but our target audience would primarily be like middle-class working Americans that are overwhelmed and just simply don't have the time to plan a vacation. Because for them, the hardest thing is honestly like finding a time to research and plan, and we know that it's a difficult process.
Now, guys, we just got through getting through a pandemic, and we're still going over some speed bumps regarding the pandemic, COVID. What happens if there's a relapse and we go into that? What's going to occur to your entity, to your business venture? How will you handle that?
Well, with the trajectory we're going on right now, we certainly aren't expecting anything like that to happen. While we have had some recent bumps, it certainly is much lower than at the highest highs, and people are still traveling. So really, it's more about a usage rate where if people are still traveling, they can still use our service. In a full lockdown, we would probably need to recuperate some of these losses and change the way our business works and functions. Sadly, people do still travel even when they're not supposed to. So certainly from there, it would be about how we want to tackle it.
Any more to add to his answer, gentlemen?
I would say that our vacation planning is not strictly based on, let's say, going to a hotel or taking a flight. People can get ideas for their trip using our products. So let's say we shut down again. A lot of people over the pandemic were going out and taking hikes and exploring nature. And our app or our service could do the exact same, providing them ideas and opportunities to explore the world around them.
Also, like the thing is, the pandemic does close a lot of doors, but you're never completely like limited to what you can do. It's like you still have a ton of outdoor activities. You can always find a way to take refuge and just go on a vacation in your free time. And our app will actually just help you find that and what you're able to do with the current circumstances.
Guys, you're thinking very innovative, and the best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I love the presentation. I liked it when you all were walking through places. It was great to see activity going on. It wasn't just, you weren't just reading from a script, which is great. Here's my question. So you were saying, Ariane, about there's all kinds of other things to do. What have you done to say, okay, there's other things we can plan your trip? What if I want to plan a trip in my RV and I want to drive my RV across country? Do you have something in your application that says, I don't need to stay in a hotel, I don't need a rental car, I just need a place to park my bus every day? So that's one of my questions, because you said there's possibilities. Well, you have to make money off the possibilities. And then the other thing is the competitors. American Airlines has buses now. They'll shuttle you from one airport to the other. In their American Airline Vacation, you can get cars, hotels, and everything. So you know you want to fly somewhere. Well, American Airlines Vacations will do it all for you. You go to all the other apps that obviously you compete with. So who's your number one competitor that you see? And do you have something in there for the RV industry, which is the largest growing travel segment in the world right now?
So to address your question about the RV thing, well, our app, it's all based around user input. So basically you tell us exactly what your needs are, whether it's an RV, like, you don't have to be going to a hotel or resort. If you want to go to an RV, we'll basically accommodate and make that happen for you. We'll tell you places you can park, road trips you can go on, places you can stay, places you can eat along the way too. So it's basically everything our app gives you is catered to your own personal needs. It's all fluid and it's not concrete, and all the packages are not like, they're not all traditional vacations either. And also you asked about like our biggest competitor, and I think our biggest competitor would be Expedia. However, the way that we're different is that when you go on Expedia, you have to buy the flight individually, then you look for a hotel, then you look for a rental car. So basically, after you get all of those pieces, you're basically planning the entire vacation on your own. But Vista, on the other hand, you put in all of your needs and wants, and then we give you the entire package. So then all that's left to do is pay for your entire vacation.
Great. Thank you, guys. Anything else you want to add to that, Nari?
No, I think Arian addressed all the points needed.
Great presentation, guys. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank
also.
you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, good concept, because I guess from your perspective, each trip is unique to the individual planning it, right? So for me, one of the things, if I'm going to use the app, I want to know that when I get to Colorado and I'm going to take the trip down the Colorado River, that when I get there, they're going to be there, right? The tour guide's going to be there. I'm not going to show up to an empty, parking lot and somebody has my money. I guess explain to me how you're going to overcome and make sure that I have full confidence that what I've purchased, I'm actually going to receive when I get there. That's sort of, to me, one of the biggest issues, because I'll just let you answer.
Yeah. So how our service works is that we scrape databases filled with a bunch of vacation options when it comes to flights, hotels, activities, whatever you can think of. We scrape that information, and then use these websites or specific activities or hotels, and use their website and buy it through there, and then present the bought package to the user. So it's very similar to going out on, let's say, the tour guide's website and buying their service on their own website, if that makes sense.
Also, to add on to that, no, I definitely understand your concerns with the confidence. Like, why should a consumer trust a small startup like us with zero reputation? But the thing is, we also plan to partner with more reputable hospitality groups like Delta and Hilton. So basically, like, they would be saying, oh, take a trip down to the Colorado River, but book it through Vista. And basically, with their reputation and their clientele reach, like, I believe that the consumer will be more confident booking through them, knowing that they partner with us or they're affiliated with us. If that answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Vista from Oakdale High School. That was our very last presentation for the night. So we're going to turn it over to the judges. They can compare the rubrics in a breakout room, and we will come back with the final results as soon as we can.
Yeah, what's going to happen is as soon as the judges puts in their scores, Corbin and I are going to communicate here. We'll be back on probably about 7:30. So we'll announce the winners hopefully by 7:30. So if everybody wants to take a break, get a drink of water or something, we'll see you back here at 7:30. Okay, we're back on. I will tell you, I think everybody did a great job. I know in high school, I probably would have never done anything like this. So everybody did a great job. And as I said, if you're a junior or below, work on your business and come back next year. And hopefully we'll see you next year. So what we want to do right now is go ahead, Corbin. I'm going to explain how we're going to announce the top 5 teams. Okay. So are you good, Corbin? Corbin, are you good? Are you going to bring it up? I don't see it yet. Here we go. Okay, so these are the awards. The first place team tonight is going to earn $900. Second place will be $600. Third place is $300. And everybody, 4th through 10th place, will get $50 a participant. And that includes Connor, our MC, who did a great job. Let's give a hand to Connor. Nice work, Connor. And so here we go. 5th place team from Brunswick High School was Axis Apparel, the golf apparel, if you remember. So hopefully she gets that marketed. And I think the judges gave her some great advice. She did a great job. Next, 4th place is Forget Me Not from Urbana High School. And Gabby, which is a great concept as well. And now 2nd and 3rd place, we actually had a tie. So we have a tie for 2nd place. They will split the prize money. Tied for 2nd was Line Leader from Oakdale High School, Team A, and Vista from Oakdale High School. So they are splitting the 2nd and 3rd place money. And then our top place, number 1, is Treat 'em Right from Middletown High School. And Gabrielle hopefully will share her treats with us and someday become successful. I know she's excited. $900 will go to her. She can maybe put that into her business. Great job. Fantastic job, everyone. And just everybody's a winner here tonight. So thank you very much for all the time and work that Kaylin put in. And thanks our judges. Just a great job. So that's it. And if judges want to hang out, we'll just talk a few minutes. But Corbin, if you could stop the live stream, that'd be great. And everybody's free to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Jose.
Hey, really enjoyed doing that with you, Michael and Ed. Thank you so much.